Once upon a time, Molly and Bella were best friends. They lived in a quiet village with green trees, singing birds, and smiling people. Molly stayed with her grandmother in a small blue house. Bella lived nearby with her uncle, who was hardly home. The two girls did everything together. They played by the stream, helped old people at the market, and shared secrets under the mango tree. Molly's grandma made creams and soaps from herbs. People loved them and came from far away to buy them. Molly learned the recipes and helped Grandma in the shop. One day, Grandma said, "Molly, the business is growing. We need help. Who do you trust?" Molly smiled wide. "Bella. She's like my sister." Grandma agreed. Bella started working at the shop. She watched how Molly made the creams. She saw how much people loved the products. Molly never hid anything from Bella. She shared her secret ingredients, her customers, and even her dreams. But Bella had her own secret too, a small notebook where she wrote everything Molly was doing. One sunny morning, Molly skipped down the road to her shop. But something was different. Across the street, a new shop had opened. It was painted bright yellow and had a sign that said, "Bella's Natural Creams." Molly's heart raced. She ran across the street. Inside, she saw creams that looked exactly like hers. Even the jars and labels looked the same. Behind the counter stood Bella, smiling and handing a jar to a happy customer. "Bella? What is this?" Molly asked, confused. Bella looked up and smiled. "It's my new shop, Molly. I wanted to try something new. With my recipes. My ideas." Molly asked, her voice cracking. Bella didn't say sorry. She just looked away and said, "You have your shop, I have mine now." Molly stood there, shocked. Her best friend had taken everything she taught her and opened a copy shop. Tears filled her eyes. She turned and walked away slowly, feeling the deepest kind of hurt. Back home, Molly told her grandma everything. Grandma listened quietly and rubbed Molly's back. Then she said, "My child, not all smiles are kind. Some hearts hide secrets." Molly was angry and confused. "But I trusted her. I helped her." "Yes," Grandma said gently. "You gave her the sun. She used it to grow her own tree, but didn't invite you to share the fruit." Molly felt lost. She did not want to see Bella again. But Grandma said something important. "Don't stop being good, Molly. One person's betrayal must not change your kind heart." Molly wiped her tears. She went back to work, but her laughter was gone. She served customers quietly. She stopped telling jokes. And when she saw Bella's shop full of people, her heart felt heavy. The village had a big festival every year. There were drums, dances, and stalls selling yummy food. This year, there will also be a beauty cream contest. The winner would get a prize from the village chief, and everyone's trust. Molly did not want to enter. "What's the use?" she said sadly. But Grandma encouraged her. "Your gift is not for hiding. Show the world your light." Molly finally agreed. She worked day and night to make a new cream using a flower no one had ever used before, moon petals that bloomed only at night. The cream smelled sweet and felt soft like clouds. On the day of the festival, both Molly and Bella set up stalls. Bella's booth had gold cloth and fancy jars. Molly's table was simple, but her cream glowed under the sun. People gathered around. They tested both creams. Bella smiled proudly. Molly stayed quiet, waiting. The chief came to taste the creams. He rubbed each one on his hand and sniffed. Then he smiled at Molly. The chief raised Molly's cream high in the air and said, "This is the winner." The crowd cheered. Molly's heart jumped with joy. She looked over at Bella. Bella's face was stiff. Her smile had faded. The chief gave Molly a shiny medal and a small red box. Inside was a golden coin and a note that said, "You are chosen to supply creams to the village palace for 1 whole year." Molly cried happy tears. Grandma hugged her tightly. "See what truth brings." Bella packed up her table quickly and walked away without saying a word. That night, Molly stood under the stars. She remembered all the times she laughed with Bella, but now, it felt like a dream from long ago. A week later, something terrible happened. People came to Molly's shop, holding strange jars. "We bought this from Bella's shop," one woman said. "But it burned my skin." Another lady said her baby had rashes from the soap. Molly looked at the jars. They were fake versions of her moon petal cream. Bella had tried to copy it but failed. Soon, word spread. People stopped going to Bella's shop. The chief even sent a warning letter: "Stop selling bad products, or face a village ban." Molly did not feel happy about Bella's fall. Her heart still hurts. One evening, Molly heard a knock. She opened the door, and there stood Bella. Her eyes were red, and she looked tired. "Can I come in?" she asked softly. Molly didn't speak, but she stepped aside. "I made a mistake," Bella said. "I was greedy. I wanted to shine like you, but I did not want to grow my own light. I'm sorry." Molly looked at her. "Why didn't you just ask for help?" "I was jealous," Bella whispered. "You had everything. I felt small." Molly sighed. "You weren't small. I trusted you. I loved you like a sister." They sat in silence. Then Bella got up. "I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know." Molly told Grandma about Bella's visit. She said sorry, Molly said. "But I don't know what to do." Grandma nodded. Forgiveness is not easy. It takes courage to give and receive it. But holding anger is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to fall. Molly thought about it. She did not want to be bitter. But, at second hand, she did not want to be hurt again. So she made a decision. She wrote a letter to Bella. "Dear Bella, I forgive you. But I need time. I hope you will grow your own light one day. Molly." Months passed. Bella closed her shop and went to work with a soap maker in another town. She learned how to mix herbs, grow flowers, and build a brand of her own. She sent letters to Molly, telling her about her journey. Slowly, their words became warmer again. One day, a package arrived at Molly's door. Inside was a cream jar with a tag that read, "Made with my own recipe. Thank you for showing me the way." Molly smiled. It smelled nothing like hers. It was different, and that made it beautiful. A year later, the festival returned. This time, Molly and Bella stood side by side with different creams and different dreams. They smiled at each other, not like before, but something new. A friendship with honesty and space. They did not go back to being best friends, but they became something else, two people who once shared a road, took different paths, and learned to stand strong on their own. Molly looked at the crowd, then at the stars above. She whispered, "I will still believe in kindness. But I'll never forget the promise I made, to protect my heart." And that promise made her stronger than ever. This story reminds us that real friendship is based on honesty and loyalty, not jealousy or selfishness. It shows that being generous is good, but we also need to set boundaries to protect our hearts. Even though betrayal can be painful, it doesn't have to change who we are. We can still be kind, learn from it, and grow. True growth comes when people take responsibility for their actions and choose to do better. And in the end, we learn that forgiving someone doesn't always mean things will go back to how they were. Sometimes it means moving on, wiser and stronger. I hope you enjoyed the story.